Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all amazing. My name is Taylor and I will be doing an intuitive reading for the collective. Hope you're all amazing, enjoying the summer, summer here in Canada. This is for the collective general reading. Collective general reading. If you're new here, welcome. If you're enjoying this, please like, subscribe. I really appreciate it. Ooh, look at that. All right. All right. So the base chakra and the solar plexus. All right. So maybe healing some root. So that could be things that are deep within, things that are connected to family, ancestry. Maybe creating an awareness within yourself. I feel like there's like a lot of self-realizations. So it's very important that you, even though you're connected through beliefs and connected through like what you were brought up and you're taught, this is telling you to make sure that you are expressing yourself from a place of truth, all right? It's kind of like what lies beneath. That's the energy I'm getting, what lies beneath. Your roots are always there. It's great to learn, but staying grounded and in that can keep you very dormant, can keep you very, can hold you back from who you are, which is something that's always going to keep you from expressing who you truly are, and it's going to really lock out the person that you are almost, and you are going to interpret that in your inner world as you're not enough, that you need to be somebody else. All right, so make sure that you're expressing yourself in a genuine way. Make sure that you're allowing yourself to be who you want to be. That's your light, it's shining. Even if you disappoint some people, you don't want to disappoint yourself in the end. That's going to turn to regret, right? Nobody likes regret. Regret can be a hard thing to swallow. Look at that temptation. Yeah, so don't feel like you are bound to things. Don't feel like you are forced to be a person that others want you to be, all right? You don't want to shut out your true self. I feel like that's what we're all kind of here for, you know. It's like past all the layers, all the labels, discovering who you truly are. It's almost like a freeing feeling, loving who you are. All right, look at that growth, fertility, number 3. Yeah, it's coming to this full circus where there's a harmony within you. They're knowing where you come from, and look at this tree, the tree of life, right? Knowing who you are, like knowing who you are as your history, your background, stuff like that is very important. But there's also this need to balance out the who you have become, you know, like getting to know yourself, what you've realized, what you like, what you don't like. It shapes your reality, and it's a commitment to yourself, you know. So don't hold yourself back, don't hold yourself grounded in what other people want you to be. There is this need to discover parts about yourself and let that shine. The beauty of life, the beauty of love, and it comes to this full circle because this is like the Empress. So there's a beginning and end, and then the balance, the harmony between the two. So growth happens when you embrace parts of yourself that maybe others didn't want you to, and letting your hair down, letting yourself rise to the beauty which you hold. You know yourself, and don't hold yourself back from being who you truly are. All right, that'll shape your world, and it's going to bring in a lot of empowerment, a lot of love, and it does come with some sacrifices. You can't always please everybody, and you definitely don't want to not please yourself. Like, you have to, love comes within first, and expressing yourself, and almost like getting back to being okay with who you are, being okay to be judged by some. That's normal. Kind of like fake it till you make it, right? Until we know who we truly are, it's almost like we're always trying to battle the battle within and the battle on the outside. So the battling the inside and the outside on who you should be versus who you are, right? And then there's kind of a time where the outside world starts to crack, and you don't feel the same way about things that you used to. That's an important time to nurture the things about yourself that really make you special, and it's that authentic energy. Don't close yourself off from opportunities to grow and to embrace yourself and love all of yourself, right? Don't reject any. So yeah, this is the cycles of growth. It's not always easy, but there is benefits, obviously. You live, you learn. This is it, like the knowledge, taking that knowledge and turning those challenges and those lessons into wisdom, discovering more about yourself and the world. And it really does start to flow within you that it's okay to let people down, and it's okay to let things go that are not good for you. All right, so your roots will always be your roots, where you come from, your history, like your family, your ancestors, but don't let that shape your reality. That's not the person you are. That's where the beginning, that's the beginning of life. And there's a lot that we have to unlearn, right? And it kind of forces this flow, and it heals those things that were traumatic, those things that were generational trauma, instead of just embracing it and continuing the cycles. So it's almost like letting yourself flow and becoming the divine person that you are. Number 5 is on the bottom, emotional loss. Yeah, of course it can. Of course I feel like growth comes with a lot of pain, losses. It almost forces you to look at things about yourself and aspects about others. Again, those challenges, right? It's emotional challenges that we go through. It kind of cracks you open. I see like an egg, it cracks you open. And there's a lot of realization, a lot of awareness, and a lot of questions that come into mind. And it almost becomes unavoidable to start discovering yourself and who you are and what you don't want to allow into your life. It's all about limitations. Limiting what you don't want, and understanding that life has no limitations. You can grow outside of the space that you felt you were stuck in. It's feeding the positive. It's having that, embracing all of life, the things that have shaped you. Most of them could have been painful realizations, right? But it shaped you into a person that's strong and becoming who you are. Victory and success, yeah. It's really about celebrating you. The victory comes from your inner world. Are you ashamed of certain things? Or are you worrying about how people will perceive you if you're a certain way. But the victory and the success is being your best supporter, your own best supporter. Self-love. Don't give that up for anybody. Because success is the way you perceive it. Making other people happy isn't going to make you happy, and the outcome isn't going to be what you think it is, right? So it's like embracing the cycles and learning from certain things, and really getting familiar with who you are and loving and accepting yourself. And that is going to also allow you to love and accept others in all of their quirky ways, right? So it's really a growth within yourself, and then it's actually portrayed and how you see others as well. So it's kind of like letting go of that judgment. No one has the right to judge anybody. This is about your own growth, working on yourself, healing. It's like healing. When healing happens, you grow in a completely different way. It's like shedding those old leaves, shedding the old leaves, becoming familiar with yourself, almost like a tree with no leaves and it's winter. You have to go through that where you feel bare and you're really raw. It becomes this raw experience. Because when truth comes into play, and there's a lot of realizations about life and what you thought to be true isn't. It becomes raw. You feel bare and naked. So the tree, it's like it almost loses itself for a moment, and then the process of healing grows back stronger and fuller. The life cycles, it takes many challenges, many lifetimes. It's stages, it's steps to really a deeper connection with yourself, and a deeper connection to even your roots, and you become so aware and familiar and accepting that things are the way they are, but you are the change. You can be that change, and you almost forgive what others could not accept themselves. So you forgive and you let go of pointing any blame at others, and it's like a full acceptance of this is what was needed to shape the person that you are today. So there is a feeling of gratitude, free from expectations from yourself and others. Okay, we have the 5 defeats. It's not always about who wins the conversation, who wins the arguments. It's the need to surrender to certain things, that there is no winning. It's just all about your own personal growth. It's not about being right. It's almost about that self-sacrifice that you have to endure with other people's behaviors. You can't change other people's opinions. Sometimes there's just a need to leave it alone and walk away from certain situations. So I feel like it's almost like something to be very vulnerable. It's not easy, even if you know you're right. It's just easier sometimes to just not even put your energy where it's not even where it's not being perceived. It's almost about your own peace. And that is, I feel like that is the victory and the success. It's not who had the last word. It's not about competition on who is right and wrong. That's the deception. Sometimes it's just better just to leave with your own peace, right? And let the other person go through their own challenges. So a surrender to the world, the outside world, strength. It all comes back. Strength comes from challenging situations. And it's a way to perceive the world differently, and it's growth, right? When you leave when you don't put yourself in situations where there is no positive outcome, that is being the bigger person, being brave, and having that inner strength to control your reactions, overcoming other people's influences, overcoming challenges where you have been let down, and there's a need to focus on your beliefs, to nurture the things you believe to be true, not to let yourself down. Means letting others down, right? So don't be influenced by the way you may feel. Like, the strength card doesn't mean you feel strong. It means that you may have endured something that doesn't feel good in the moment, but it will allow you to move forward, and it allows you to overcome certain situations. It grows your confidence. Don't let people persuade you in a direction just to please somebody else. That would be like self-sacrificing your own growth. So that's that harmony. That's that need for harmony for your inner world and your outer world to be strong. It's not always letting people in to your inner world. Listen to yourself first and what feels right. If the energy doesn't feel right, usually isn't. All right, so we have the Knight of Swords. Drastic changes. So there's a need to seize the moment. I feel like this is all about being direct and honest, not being reactive. And again, with not being rash or impulsive, being assertive with people, and not doubting yourself in a moment of impulse, maybe forfeiting something you see as true, so that it keeps the peace. But what that does later on, it devalues yourself. It'll almost like it gives up your control of yourself, and you give over the control to somebody else. So needing to have, the strength to give you confidence. To be more forward, be more focused on what you want and what you don't want. Don't be fast to jump to conclusions or to act to people's behavior. what makes you happy and what feels right to you is the most important. And it always feels like you're you maybe feel let down a lot, but if you're not allowed to be yourself or you can't be yourself, then those are the type of people that you don't want in your life. So this is a part of life where others may be influencing your decisions, and there's a need to remember who you are, remember what you're here for. You were born as one, and you're rare. Your rarity will attract some and provoke others. So this is time, I feel like, where you are overcoming a lot of challenges. You've had to distance yourself from those who are intimidating you. They could be deceptive, and I feel like always want to win. So this is where you need to surrender to surrender to the message that your value is more important than the cost of people in your life. All right? Don't let anyone dictate who you are and what is good for you. Feel like you know what you want. You're very smart, very witty. You may hold yourself back. You may hold yourself back to please others. So what this is telling you, you need to move forward, needing to really put your energy into what is driving you, what's your passion, what's your purpose. Because moving forward means sometimes leaving things in the past. And for your next chapter, the journey that you are now, you need to trust yourself, what you are telling yourself, your inner journey. Let yourself be free from the chaos. This is all about your journey and the courage to move forward, to experience life. So there is action that you will be moving into territory that maybe feels new. It may feel a little bit, you may be a little standoffish because it's a strange new world. It's a journey. The journey is experience life in a completely different way you're not used to. It's like leading your own life. And it starts with you. It starts with expressing yourself in a way that is true, being honest with yourself, not holding yourself back. And I feel like there's a lot of people that are knowing that this is going on right now, but it's just taking that first step. But the first step is that fire, that inspiration, that where you know what you need to do. May not have moved forward yet, but it's that insight, right? Of knowing that sometimes harsh decisions can be scary and the fear of the unknown. But being direct, and honest with yourself, it's going to get what you want in the end. You're going to discover there's much more to come when you move forward. Trusting yourself, and it may not be easy, you may have to go through some times that are challenging, but you are still moving ahead, you're still taking steps forward. You may not know you are, but you are, because you're realizing a lot. There's a lot of awareness, but you are part of Source. You are the most important person in this journey. Don't hold yourself back for people that want to hold you back. Don't get lost in the chaos. It's just going to create a lot of deception. It's going to create a lot of blocks later on, trusting others that are only out for themselves. So I feel like you've had this awakening, this insight that life is moving, and there's so much that you've discovered about yourself that you don't want to hide anymore. You want to let that inner child roar. Be free. Be who you are. Don't be scared to be who you are. Take that control back. Don't doubt yourself. And that is the biggest lesson, the biggest growth. You're free from judgment, free from being scared what other people think, and letting yourself grow into somebody that embraces themselves, embraces all of themselves, and that self-love is going to project onto others. Don't be faded into the darkness. Don't let your roots hold you back. Your roots were there for a reason, but your branches are extending. Your branches are yours to grow your own harvest. Time to nurture yourself and what you want. Authenticity is the highest frequency. A lot of fire. Lots of fire energy. With the Empress energy, you're going through a personal growth. And if other people aren't on that level anymore, you're going to see that they're going to want to bring you back down to their level. But grow to be the tallest tree, where those who want to bring you down cannot reach you anymore. Time to march to your own beat. Time to shine in your own light. It's time to get back to loving life, loving yourself, and it's going to bring in success. It's going to bring in more blessings, and I feel like you're going to be able to see life from a different aspects, right? A higher view. Don't let yourself stay limited, stay small, get stomped on, where you could grow to be the tallest tree in the forest. Able to experience and see life from a different angle. The world isn't exactly the way we think it is, and life isn't what we think it is. And we all come from a different background, but we really, when we experience life and we overlook all the negative, start to enjoy and rejoice, it's like we come together and we understand each other and we discover we're not all different. And we've been here before, and it's like the people that you meet, you feel like you know. It's like new connections. The taller you grow, there's different connections that you're going to meet. And those are the people. That's the community where we want to fill each other's cup. Want to experience growth and celebrate each other's growth. See the beauty in things instead of seeing the negative. But it starts within. Letting yourself be who you are. Overcoming those challenges. That is the biggest blessing. You perceive the world differently, you perceive yourself differently, you perceive the world differently. You see the ugly in the world and you don't become it. You see the beauty within yourself, you'll start seeing the beauty in the world. Oh, I love that. That's beautiful. All right, so yeah. It's like if you focus on the conflict, you're going to become the conflict, right? You focus on the growth and truly trying to understand and appreciate each other, whether it be from a negative or positive experience. It's like you really embrace all, reject and embrace all. All right, let's finish up with a card here. Hope you all still here with me. Don't forget to comment. I love reading all about all of your energy and how you're doing. All right, so this is like pretty much telling you personal growth can come with the feelings of, you know, it can feel painful and sad, but you won't have regret, right? Growth, it shows you things that you need to see that we forgot when we come to this lifetime. You remember, you start to remember that obstacles and challenges are a way for us to grow, right? What looks like one thing becomes another. We never stop growing, and without challenges, we never change. When you see the flaws and the faults, there is something to learn. Embrace all, reject none. Moving on. They force us to move on. They force us to grow. You know, they force you to, an obstacle, what's the universe telling you? There's a need for change, for movement. One ship sails, another one comes in. Moving on to better experiences. And from those challenging, hard times, the worst times, we tend to grow, right? So it's the beauty. That is the beauty of life, is growth and change tends to only happen when we're forced to. Moving on doesn't mean life is over. It just means what you were experiencing was needing to, that aspect of your life was over. Letting something fade away, letting the leaves fall off so that new flowers can grow. And if there's an obstacle, it's probably for your best. It's in your best interest. Having the self-confidence to move forward. Choices and outcome can be challenging, but when you believe in yourself, life is happening all around you. Don't get stuck in the past. Be the change, be the movement, and focus on your inner world and what brings you peace. Let that light in. I feel like happiness and success are what are the outcome of not holding yourself back and not being defeated and not deceiving yourself, but not deceiving yourself by holding yourself back in lower situations. Reward yourself with new adventures. Reward yourself with new experiences, and reward yourself with life. Because the best is yet to come. Firm foundation, yeah, all right? Create your own foundation, right? Once you know what not to accept anymore, you decide where you want to build, where you want to place your power. And when all comes crumbling down, rebuild is stronger. It's not about being at the top of the mountain. It's about discovering all the twists and turns during the journey. It's about experience the journey, not getting to the finish line. A firm foundation comes after what you thought your foundation was. If you thought it was strong, it tends to crumble and fall down. And a firm foundation is when you grow it back with intent, with hard work. And using opportunities to challenge yourself, to grow, and find the gems and the treasures. Discover the gems and the treasures and the secret caves all along the way. There might be some bumps. You may fall down a couple steps, but you discover how strong you are. And that creates a whole new cycle of life. And it's a whole new way of seeing challenges. That nothing is impossible. And you can conquer anything. Just as long as you don't let life hold you down, hold you back. Come back stronger. Once you fall down, just make sure you just keep getting up. All right? That's beautiful. So this is all about nurturing the things that you thought you couldn't change. And if you can't change something, if you can't change it, change the way you look at it, change the way you see things. You can't change people, but you can definitely change the way you see the world and the way you see yourself. So don't forget, you are as strong as you tell yourself you are. So embrace everything. And take everything as a chance. Take everything as a way to see the world from a different place. It's not about being on top of the mountain. It's about a deeper understanding of what the mountain is. The pursuit of happiness starts with being yourself, learning how to laugh, learning how to love, and new experiences. All right? Life awaits. So keep moving, keep chugging along. And until next time, bye.